The colony ship Wanderer's Hope had crash-landed on the uncharted planet 3 months ago, leaving Marcus Chen stranded in an alien forest with nothing but emergency rations and a fabricator that could barely produce protein bars. The other survivors had scattered across the wilderness, their beacon signals growing weaker each day. Tonight, like every night since the crash, Marcus sat by his campfire, mixing synthetic flour with purified water to make simple crackers. The fabricator hummed softly, producing the bland sustenance that kept him alive. He didn't mind the solitude anymore. The bioluminescent trees provided enough light, and the constant chirping of 6-legged creatures had become almost comforting. Then he heard a rustling in the undergrowth, followed by a high-pitched chirp that sounded distinctly. Hungry. 2 small creatures emerged from the shadows. They were no larger than house cats, covered in iridescent scales that shimmered purple and gold in the firelight. Their wings were still developing, mere stubs on their backs, and their eyes large, intelligent, and unmistakably pleading, fixed on the crackers cooling beside the fire. "Well, hello there," Marcus whispered, crouching down slowly. The creatures didn't flee. Instead, they crept closer, their tiny claws clicking against the rocks. The smaller one, whose scales glowed with a softer purple hue, let out a pathetic mewling sound. Its ribs were visible beneath the scales. The larger one, deep gold with crimson highlights, nudged its companion protectively but couldn't hide its own hunger. Marcus's heart melted. "You two look like you could use a meal." He broke a cracker in half and tossed a piece toward them. The golden one caught it mid-air with reflexes that would shame any predator, while the purple one scrambled to grab the second piece. They devoured the food in seconds, then looked up at him with what could only be described as hope. Okay, Marcus laughed. But just this once. That night became a routine. Syra, as Marcus named the purple one, and Carnax, the golden protector, appeared every evening at sunset. At first, Marcus shared his rations, but as weeks passed, he began modifying recipes specifically for them. The fabricator's database contained thousands of Earth recipes, and Marcus experimented cookies made with synthetic honey, crackers seasoned with herbs he'd found in the forest, even attempts at pizza using local fungi. The dragon children grew rapidly. Within 2 months, they were the size of large dogs, their wings now functional enough for short glides. Syra had developed a particular fondness for sweet treats, while Carnax preferred anything with a savory crunch. They communicated through a series of chirps, growls, and what Marcus swore were attempts at words. "You two are something special," Marcus said one night, scratching behind Carnax's ear ridge. The dragon purred, a sound like distant thunder. "I wonder where your parents are." Wonder. He'd seen no sign of adult dragons. The planet seemed devoid of any large predators, which struck him as odd. These children should have had protection, guidance, yet night after night, they came to him alone. On the 90th night, everything changed. The sky split open. Not metaphorically, the actual atmosphere tore apart in a cascade of golden light, revealing the void of space beyond. Marcus stumbled backward, shielding his eyes as a massive shape descended through the rift. It was a dragon, but calling it a dragon was like calling a nuclear reactor a candle. The creature was over 2 kilometers long, its scales made of what appeared to be crystallized starlight, wings that could eclipse moons folded against its cosmic form, and eyes like binary stars gazed down at the planet's surface. More specifically, at Marcus. The giant dragon landed with surprising gentleness, the ground barely trembling. Syra and Carnax immediately raced toward it, chirping excitedly. The cosmic entity lowered its enormous head, nuzzling its children with a tenderness that seemed impossible for something so vast. Then those stellar eyes turned to Marcus. A voice entered his mind not through his ears, but directly into his consciousness. It resonated with the authority of collapsing stars and the warmth of solar flares. "You have cared for my offspring." Marcus's knees nearly buckled. They were hungry. I couldn't just. I am Velraxis, sovereign of the Mother Star, guardian of the Draconid expanse, keeper of the eternal flame. The voice carried weight that made reality itself seem to bend. My children were taken by poachers 3 seasons past. I have searched 12 systems, razed pirate strongholds, dismantled trafficking rings. I found them here, abandoned on this forgotten world. The dragon's gaze intensified, and Marcus felt his soul being examined, weighed, measured. They speak of you in their dreams, the human who shared his meager food, who learned their preferences, who gave them names. They were kids, Marcus stammered. Just hungry kids. Yes. Something that might have been approval colored the mental voice. You saw children, not specimens, not resources, not subjects beneath your species. Velraxis rose to her full height, and the sky itself seemed to acknowledge her majesty. Stars literally bent their light around her form. Human Marcus Chen, survivor of the Wanderer's Hope, baker of midnight snacks, you have earned the gratitude of the Mother Star's throne. Ask, and if it is within my power, it shall be granted. Marcus thought of his crewmates, scattered and dying across this world. He thought of Earth, so far away. He thought of all the grand requests he could make. Then he looked at Sira and Karnax, who bounded over to him, still small enough to curl against his legs despite their growth. Can I say goodbye first? He asked quietly. Before you take them home? For the first time, Velraxis's mental voice carried something like surprise. You do not ask for rescue? For wealth? For power? They're your kids, Marcus said simply. They should be with you. But I'll miss them. The Dragon Queen lowered her head until one enormous eye was level with Marcus. He saw galaxies swirling in that stellar gaze. You have shown more honor than kings, more wisdom than scholars, more compassion than saints. I will rescue your crew. I will return you to your people. But first, Velraxis's form shimmered, and suddenly a woman stood before him, tall and regal, with purple and gold light dancing in her hair. First, let us make one more batch of those cookies my daughter loves. Together. Marcus blinked away tears and laughed. I think I have enough flour for that. That night, a human and a dragon queen who ruled the stars baked snacks by firelight while 2 dragon children played in the forest, and the universe itself smiled at the simple beauty of unexpected kindness.